Hey everyone, Ibezinga here. Today I will be drinking a FarmerLeaf tea, which is the Jingmai 2024 spring version of their Liudwei garden, which I bought earlier, well actually last year. I'm just going to preheat my teaware. I've collected 7 grams for a 120 milliliter teapot. Show you the leaves. They're quite nice. There's some coarser leaves in there, but there's also a lot of tippy material, which will give the tea an extra kick, if you will, extra caffeine. I don't have a tea scoop to load my pots nicely, so I'll just make do. There we go. I will go ahead and give this a quick rinse. So every year, FarmerLeaf releases a version of matcha version of their Shanghai, of their natural tea gardens, and they do. And last year they also did a autumn version, but I only bought the spring version. I actually bought 2 bags of them because I heard it was really nice. And also I've had the autumn version from an acquaintance who I met on the FarmerLeaf Discord server, but there was a big difference in taste and actually quite a big difference in smell, but I will probably talk about that later in this video, or perhaps in a follow-up video. Let's just take a smell of the wet leaves. So they are quite flowery, but you can also smell I'm not gonna say roasted note, but a toasted note. It's like you can smell the wok in which the leaves have been, in which they have underwent the Kilgreen process, the shaching. So they smell quite lovely. I'll just give this a first brew. And I've already, this bag is almost empty, in fact. It's a really nice tea to have. I'm drinking this one in the evening, which isn't the best idea, to be honest, because in the past I've noticed it is quite an energizing tea, which, to be fair, most young raw puerh is. Yeah, very nice smell. Very nice wet leaves. I don't know if the camera picks it up. They're still very green, which is to be expected, of course. So yeah, very nice. I'll just show you the infusion as well. So the infusion is actually quite pale yellow, pale gold perhaps. But when I first received this tea, so when it was only a couple of weeks old, the infusion was really clear. It was almost like you were brewing a silver needle tea. Very, very pale, very, I don't know, white perhaps. I don't know how to say it exactly, but I'm guessing the camera won't show it, but there's a lot of activity going on in this tea. A lot of hairs. So, cheers. Pleasant thickness. There's an initial bitterness which quickly transforms into sweetness. So it tickles the base and the sides of the tongue. and then just transforms in a very gentle, soothing sweetness. Really nice. I'm just going to start brewing my second infusion. Let's give it a moment. So when you first swallow the tea, you get a lot of that toasted note, a lot of that wok taste, which is actually very pleasant, very sweet also. And then about 10 seconds later, there's the flowery, lightly fruity, but not overly so aftertaste, which shows up in the tea. Very nice. It's also quite thick, not the thickest, which Jingmai isn't very known for, to produce very thick tea, but certainly not a... It's certainly a tea which has legs. Let's say it like that. It doesn't have a light body feel to it, mouth feel. So, something I've noticed with the FarmerLeaf teas, and especially the teas they produce themselves, is the main attribute of those FarmerLeaf teas is not the taste or the aroma, but it's mainly the mouthfeel. Not necessarily even the aftertaste, but really the mouthfeel. So how the tea feels in the mouth, if it has a slightly cooling effect, which this one does also after a couple of brews. The initial bitterness, some medium astringency, the sweetness, the softness in the mouth, but also how the tea flows down from the mouth into the throat and into the stomach. So this is only my second brew, not even starting the second brew. I can already feel my stomach reacting to this tea. It's giving a warming feeling in my stomach, and later in the session I won't brew the whole session on camera, but let's say in another 5 or 6 infusions, I know this tea will give me a very pleasant body feel, will give me a very, not very, but a somewhat warming body feel, which is very nice if you're drinking this in summer, but also in winter, but I prefer summer. But already starting to feel those attributes of the tea. What I said earlier in the video, which might be interesting, so I swapped the tea with someone from the Discord server who also lives in Belgium, who is just venturing into tea. And he messaged me and he said the autumn version of this tea had a very fishy smell to it, which I found weird. I've tasted over 50 sheng puerhs. I've never had a fishy taste in a raw puerh. I know poorly fermented ripe puerh might have those fishier, musky notes, but never in a sheng puerh. So we swapped teas. I sent him some of this spring version. He sent me some of the autumn version along with some other teas, not necessarily FarmerLeaf, but some of them. And so when I smelled the dry leaves, they were completely fine. But after rinsing, so when I smelled the wet leaves, there was indeed a very, well, I wouldn't say fishy smell, but certainly like a smell like kelp or seaweed, something like that, which is very strange. Very strange. I've never had that in any other sheng puerh, like I said. So I went on the Discord, I left a message, and I also said the same, that I got this very kelpy, seaweedy, saline smell on this tea. And yeah, other people didn't seem to have this this issue with this tea. So was it a one-off? Perhaps, I don't know. Maybe it's just bad luck for that person who ordered the tea. I haven't encountered any off smells in the other teas by FarmerLeaf, not in the spring version. When you open this bag, by the way, it's very flowery indeed. Like I said, I can also, it's starting to work. I'm getting the poo burps. So yeah, very nice tea. I give it. I'm not a very complicated. I'm not using a very complicated rating system. I'm just gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Why not a 4.5 out of 5? Because I think the fragrance is lacking with like all FarmerLeaf teas. But I mean, it gives me a nice body feel, gives me a nice mouth feel. It leaves a quite sweet aftertaste, very nice aftertaste. Just the fragrance is a bit lacking. If there was more fragrance, I'd give it a 4.5. Also because the price was very nice. I think it was $14 for a 70-gram bag, so around 20 cents a gram, which is actually a very nice price. And I think the last year's Jingmai Miyun, the base, so the whole 350-gram cake, the base of that tea was the same material as this. So perhaps I'll buy a cake of it and age it for a couple of years. I don't know. Very nice tea. I would just go through a couple more infusions, finish this session off. I will very much enjoy it, even though it's quite late in the evening. Perhaps I'll do some reading afterwards. We'll see. It's always it's such a pleasure to drink these FarmerLeaf teas. They are so nice. I've actually gone through a couple of all the FarmerLeaf teas I tried, and apart from the autumn version of this tea, I think all the teas by them have never received a lower rating than 3.5. I think out of 5. I think yeah, I can't remember a tea I gave less than 3.5 out of 5. There aren't any 5 out of 5s yet, to be honest. But yeah, it's like I don't know if I ever will give a tea 5 out of 5, because I feel like puerh tea is a bit like chasing the dragon, always going after the tea you just out of reach. It just lacks something, albeit body or strength or aftertaste or smell. I mean, yeah, there will probably be a lot of very pleasant teas, but yeah, you gotta factor in price as well, let's be honest. So yeah, enough rambling on my part. I will finish off this session. I will probably pick up a bag or two next spring, because it's just a nice drinking tea. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below if you want to see more videos. Let me know what kind of videos you would like to see. I've recently uploaded a shorter format. This is a longer format. Just let me know. You want me to talk about the producer or the tea itself, or yeah, I don't know, whatever you guys would like to see and what I'm in the mood for filming. So cheers, have a nice day, and see you next time.